I'm angry. You guys asked for my Jake reactions folder and you haven't used it.
I like the Jake
Oh wait,
reaction.
you posted it where?
It's all the way up. I'll post it again.
I didn't know you posted it.
Yay!
Where's my Jake photos?
I don't tread on other people's what's it called? I don't know.
Are you okay, Derek? Or did you just wake up?
Bro's dead.
He is gone.
Okay.
Why is he eating
High as hell,
mayonnaise?
bro. Goddamn. Yay! Jesus, 26. What did Jake reaction images
Yes.
you? And God taketh away. Oh, we're back.
It's my collection. I need to go collect more. Probably do that tomorrow.
I'm hungry.
Okay. I'm done. I'm ready. I'm ready. Are y'all watching? Everybody here? Everybody ready?
Yes.
No.
No.
Who are you?
Okay.
What are we doing?
What is it?
What? Oh, what is that drip, bro?
Bro, is the yeehaw hat? Is the cowboy? I'm a cowboy.
I'm gonna throw up.
I'm a cowboy, baby. Yeehaw! Oh, y'all are haters. Y'all are haters.
What?
I didn't say anything.
I didn't know it was possible to have anti-drip.
Damn. Actually, you know what?
Damn,
I'll
that's
find the VOD.
that's Texas. Texansist.
Tech savvy.
Where's the coordination? Where's the love
Exophobic.
here?
Damn, bro. Sorry, I didn't mean to go that far, got that?
Sexphobic.
Exophobic.
Okay, so, the issues. I'm gonna lower the sound on this. It's way too loud.
I can't hear.
I know.
Yeah.
I can. I can't make it so y'all can hear if I want to be able to draw. Drawing. Okay, so I'm just gonna watch it. Like, I'm just gonna play it back, and then I'll show y'all the stuff that I have to show y'all. But this match, y'all had a good opening. I remember, cause it was like you get pop, and then with pop, there's a trade here, and I think there's another kill here, if I remember correctly. Yeah. And then Derek has a really good initiate here that Sistis follows up on. And Nasu picks up, which is clean, perfect. So like up until the dunk, like this is like pretty solid, right? It's pretty good. Getting checkpoint on this map isn't the hardest thing in the world. It's also not the most important thing in the world, but it's better than not being able to push in this far. After that, you kind of lose momentum, which is perfectly fine. And this is where everything starts going bad. So the main issue that I'm going to point out here today to you guys, and this is like the easiest fix in the world, and I feel like y'all fix this, a lot of things will start like clicking into place. And it's that for the remainder of the match, because you're about to get KO'd, none of y'all sit your butts down and paint the map. And you'll see exactly what I mean, right? Because the only paint you got in mid was from the opening pop. But for the rest of the match, the enemy is going to paint all of mid, and they're going to start painting up, and you're not going to be doing anything about it. Right? So, like, Churro's sitting here. He was, like, sharking, and then Sistis sharks here, which means neither of y'all are painting. Churro gets chased. Sistis kind of lets Churro die, which is also bad, but that's not the bigger problem. The bigger problem is that Sistis isn't painting. Right? So there's just no paint. And then all of y'all die. And then Nasu kind of runs into this position here. Let me go back a little bit, because this is somewhat important concepts just to think about, right? So like Nasu gets here when there's enemy paint all over like this area. And so the enemy can just like swim up with Ninja Squid and start shooting at Nasu for free. And so it's just very unsafe because the enemy has paint here and you don't have your own paint. Right? So then it's really easy for them to just swim up and get close to Nasu. because you don't have paint. I'm gonna like drill that into y'all's head today, because that's kind of just the big issue. So like, is this match over for y'all? At this point, no. At this point, the match is very much winnable, in every sense of the word winnable, because it's just first checkpoint. They have to repop, and it takes time for them to do that. The big advantage they have right now is specials, because they killed all of y'all without using any specials. So they still have strike and crab, and I think they have a kraken coming up soon, which is fine. Like, y'all can let them get a big lead, but still prevent them from just straight up KOing. So like, you can probably just lock it out here and prevent them from passing this point, because passing this point on this map is really hard, as long as you're just like throwing bombs and stuff here, which is what y'all should have been doing. Yeah, so Derek is throwing bombs and just playing a little slow, that's a good killer whale, kind of slows him down a bit. But then what happens is all of y'all abandon this area here, and the enemy just has that paint there for free. You have this double flank, which is not the best idea. Churro's up here, but he's not really applying any pressure to this area below him, mostly because of the crab. I get it. But yeah, like, there's no one putting any pressure on this area, so they just kind of pick up the Rainmaker and just dash forward. And I'll tell you what you should have done here in a second, but I just want you to see, like, kind of, you just left this entire area unprotected. But before I mention what you should have done, I said that you left this area unprotected, but I don't think that's what you should be thinking of in the middle of the match. It's not like, oh, we need to be protecting this area. No. It's like, you just need to be putting your own turf on the important areas, right? So like, if the enemy path for the Rainmaker is this way, put your own paint here to kind of prevent them from going any further. It's like a kind of like putting like a wall of paint is how I kind of describe it. So that the enemy just physically cannot move forward because your paint is on the ground. And so that's kind of the mentality you kind of need to have. It's not protect the area or whatever. It's just put your presence there. And this is like a really important thing. I'm going to talk about Turf War a little bit later, because that's kind of how Turf War works, right? It's like, your goal is to hold 51% of the map or more. And so that just means you don't need to push into the enemy side and be super aggressive, right? Like, you don't need to win by like 70% of the enemy, of like painting into enemy spawn. You just need to hold your side of the map and then have majority of mid. 51%. That's all you need to win Turf War. And so like, kind of having that mentality applies to all of this, right? So it's like, yeah, they can get the first checkpoint. They can even push up to here, or maybe even here. That's fine. As long as you're holding like these sort of important areas here and like preventing the enemy from getting any further, then like, you're giving yourself a chance to win. So anyways, I'm gonna move on, but they KO here. What y'all should have done, okay, what y'all should have done, why can't I go back? It's what?
Setting a highlight? I don't know.
I'm pressing A. Alright, whatever. I love Splatoon. Do 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 do. So it's about here. Like, okay, I already mentioned the whole Cistus and Churro sharking in those areas, and you lost mid really badly because you just didn't put any paint to slow down the enemy, yada, yada, yada. I mentioned Nasu's bad positioning, but I still don't think the match is lost just yet. All right, so could have some of those deaths been prevented? Yes, but it's not the end of the world. Now, what should have happened here, I think Churro going this way, perfectly fine. Maybe could have he lived and avoided the death there? Probably. But whatever, hindsight 2020. I don't think that's the worst thing in the world that Churro forced the crab to look this way rather than this way, because I think the crab was somewhat wasted because of Churro going up there. So Churro going there, that's fine. Not the worst thing. Now, Nasu, you started out by going here. You should have stayed there. You sitting there and just putting pressure here is exactly what you need to be doing. You don't need to be aggressive. You don't need to be pushing up. You just need to be holding this area until your teammates are like getting into position and stuff like that. Especially considering everybody should be aware of the fact that Derek is going to be flanking through mid. And so it's like Nasu's job is to kind of just hold the enemy like at this line here. So then when Derek flanks, the enemy is just like already here, and then Derek gets value. But it kind of doesn't work if you're not holding this area, because then the enemy can just run up this way, and then Derek has to chase, and it's harder for Derek to do his job. But also, vice versa, if the enemy is held at this line and they can't push any further because of Nasu, then they're going to be clumped up here, and it makes it really easy to Derek to just distract, because the moment the enemy starts looking towards mid, then this angle is exposed, making it so Nasu can actually push up. So it's kind of like there's a synergy that goes both ways. Whether Nasu pushes up because Derek is distracting, or Derek is able to push up because Nasu is holding the position. Anyways, this is overthinking. Basically, Nasu needs to be holding this spot, and Derek flanks. Now, Sistis, you were kind of the, what I would say the backbone to any defense in terms of frontline, because Derek is always going to be flanking. Churro's mostly just going to be painting, because Splash does that. But Nasu is going to be using his range to hold, but the only thing that's short range that is able to hold areas is you. And so kind of what you're supposed to be doing in this situation is you put a wall here, splash wall. Now the enemy just can't push you, because you're a 2-shot weapon, and if they get close to you, they die. If they push your wall, they die. And then now that they can't move any further, you just start painting this area, make it so they can't move there, do the paint a wall or create a wall of paint like I mentioned earlier. And then like all of the things that I mentioned will kind of start happening, where Churro is distracting there, Derek's distracting here, Nasu's going to have range so he can poke things. You're obviously behind a wall, so the enemy is eventually going to get antsy. They're going to want to push up, and then you're able to punish because splash wall plus Nasu backing you up and Derek flanking. Those are a lot of advantages that you can abuse if you play your cards right. But yeah, we see a double flank here, which is not good, because then you just give up this for free. Now, granted, yeah, that Kraken would have just blown through you guys anyways, but you would have at least had some presence here. So even if the Kraken, you're just dancing around the Kraken, playing Ring Around the Rosie, like on this block here, that's perfectly fine. Let him do that. Just waste his time, because then as soon as the Kraken is over, you can kill him, and you'll still be in this general position to hold this line here. So, yeah. Okay, I'm going to move on to the next match. But, paint. That's kind of the big idea I'm going to talk about mostly today. Paint things. Have I lost any of y'all? No. How are my short attention span home dogs doing?
You should have like a small window of like Subway Surfers version them.
Subway Surfer in the bottom left corner, bro.
All right, here, I'll put Churro stream.
Oh my god.
Oh, League, I lost interest.
No way.
Hey.
Hang on.
Oh, that's perfect. Thank you. This is great. Thank you.
All right, there we go.
I prefer the soap cutting videos.
What do you mean? I have all of the attention in the world.
Wait, where'd it go? All right, stay there. Okay, this match, I'm not going to go through the entire match, just because I genuinely feel like y'all played really well up until the very end. But I'll kind of like skip ahead, just go through some like highlights, I guess, or just watch it in ×2 just to see if there's like any glaring problems. Like outside of just like a few deaths that probably could have been avoided, like there were like a few bomb deaths or whatever, or a few deaths that like if you watch it back, could have been avoided. It wasn't anything like game breaking or game ending. I would recommend giving this one a watch on your own time, and like or specifically if you played. So for Max, S, Derek, and Churro, watch back your perspectives. Just see any like small deaths that you probably could have prevented. Because outside of that, y'all played really great up until the very end. Which, if y'all were watching or if you played, you know exactly what happened. But we're gonna talk about that. All right, so like that was good because it's kind of a cross-map trade there, right? Where Derek is distracting all those people there, which then made that one guy that was here alone. So y'all just 3v1 that one person and let Derek die, which is fine. Jumping back in, this is good. Oh, there was another thing from watching back. I think there were some moments where y'all should have been jumping in more to each other. I'll try to point those out. All right, so like, could have these deaths been prevented by just some like better mechanics or just, you know, whatever? Yes, but it ends up being okay because Churro gets that double, and the 96 gets caught out. That Splash is a pussy. So. Yeah. Times 2. Because I think y'all play all right. Here, I do think y'all should have been pushing up more, or specifically painting up more. You don't have to be like going like chasing for kills or whatever. It's just there were 3 down, so you probably could have had like up to all of this painted on your color. So like throwing bombs and stuff like that is just a waste of your ink tank. Painting with your main weapon is more beneficial, right? Because like look, Churro's able to lock out all of this, so you should have had people up here. I am going to talk about this idea more in depth when I talk about Churro's roller, but just keep this in the back of y'all's minds, just how, you know, like you were able to claim a lot of or create a lot of space and like hold the enemy back, but you need people to take that space and like close the gap between you and the enemy. And I'm also going to ignore the Splash that was striking there. Y'all didn't know that he was there until, you know, you killed him. Never mind. You did not kill him. But I'll talk about closing the gap and taking space more. But part of closing the gap and taking space is painting, right? So if I go back to when Churro was grabbing, had Derek just ran in and like started painting stuff, would have been poggers. Yeah, right here. Oh no, Derek is dead. Or had Max and S started just like painting into this area here in the bottom, and then into this area here, right? Because I know the crab is painting it, but this is not very good paint for the crab paint. The big idea here is the pressure that the crab is giving makes it so that you can just paint this area safely. But no one kind of went in with that. You didn't claim the space, you didn't paint up. So like, rule of thumb, if there's no enemies in front of you, but you see enemy ink, just paint it. Just get it out of there. Because then that starts like, that creates like a forward momentum into the enemy side. So you didn't see any enemies down here, you should have just been painting it. I'm gonna keep going. Because then y'all's pushes were pretty alright. Pretty good. Yeah, like stuff like this, where y'all just go in and you're cleaning up each other's like deaths and stuff like that. A little messy. Like this isn't the most solid push, but y'all are making the right plays. I think it was just like a mechanics thing, and perhaps maybe better specials because I don't think y'all use any specials there, but it's fine. I think it was a good idea. Just a shaky execution. Still good execution, just not clean. Good kill from Derek. Like that sort of aggression that of just like closing the gap and be able to get a kill like that. That's kind of what I'm trying to talk about. But part of that is being able to move forward when you can, or when you should be moving forward, and you can't move forward if there's no paint. So, but yeah, Derek, good fucking shit. And then the strikes comes out, so that should be like a lot of momentum this way. It's like Derek's just got a double, strikes are going out, everybody should just be painting forward, getting clams, and just scoring. Like getting under the basket and scoring. which is exactly what y'all do. But I would argue could have been a little faster. Small side note, crab from up here. Also, I think had y'all just... Hang on, let me go back. I need to see it from a closer perspective. So you score... Oh, okay, no, never mind. I forgot they missiled. This is a pretty alright push. The only nitpick is just, I think you send Churro up here so that he crabs from here, so he would have been able to lock out all of this. But it's still a good push regardless. It was a good execution down the bottom. Right, so like moments like this, Max, it's like taking that fight isn't even worth it because it's a very 50-50 fight between you and the 96. So it's better just to paint this because you outpaint 96.
Okay.
Which you do like eventually paint, but it's just a little too forward and you get caught out. So it's just stuff like that where it's like, I know you want to take that fight, but you can't take that fight without having solid paint control of this area. You do not have solid paint control. It was very shaky.
Okay.
And I'm not trying to like single you out. Is like this is for everybody. Everybody should be doing this. Good fight, Churro. Nice try, Derek. At least he didn't die. So that's good. Yeah, corner this kid. Good. Right, so it's like as soon as those kills start coming out, start painting this area. It's like immediate, just run in, paint it. But I think y'all spent a little too long just shooting at them. Ah, oh, man. You still get that in. Okay. Okay, so here is where everything started going downhill. Okay. I'll go back a little bit just for the context from the top down. Y'all got greedy. This is why y'all lost. So you go 2 down, S scores. That's cool. Now, in this situation, you're 3 down. Churro's up with a special. Churro's in Churro's mind should just be live. You live, you win. You probably win this game straight up. But I won't say that Churro dying here is what lost y'all the match because it was sort of the mentality that Churro kind of had and everybody else kind of just followed suit with is, oh, we have the basket open. I have a power clam. Let's go score. And so Churro kind of goes in and suicides for it. Derek jumps in, also suicides for it. Max jumps in, also suicides for it. Lots of greed coming up here. Right? Oh yeah, Derek dies a little bit later. But there was like just a lot of greed with trying to do something in the front there. But once you're in a situation where it's a minute left, you have a lead, enemy has not scored. If you can stall a match for 30 seconds, what ends up happening is your last ditch effort will kick in. Right? Pay attention. 3 of y'all have last ditch effort. Lean into this advantage. Because if y'all just stall until the timer's at 30, last ditch effort kicks in, all y'all have to do is just throw bombs and they can't do anything, right? Like, this is the biggest choke map in the game. Like, it's the biggest choke point in Splatoon 3. It's the area under this bridge and the bridge itself. It's so easy to lock this out. Especially with last ditch effort where all you have to do is just like sit here and throw bombs or sit up here and throw bombs this way or down here. Like, it's just brain dead gameplay, but it's just playing not to lose. You're already winning. All you have to do at that point is just not lose. That's kind of like the best way of putting it. Which I know sounds silly, like just don't lose. That's not what I'm trying to say. It's like play not to lose because you're already winning. So that's kind of what the mentality should have been. As soon as like y'all scored to 58, like S got that 1 power climb in, don't greed for more. Especially with the minute left. You kind of don't want to take those risks. And yeah, like for the end of this match, it's just desperation from you guys. Like a lot of desperation plays, which I'm not even going to watch because I don't think it's productive. There's not much to learn from Desperation Place. Don't get greedy, especially when timer's low and we have lead. Play not to lose when winning. Perfect. Good notes, good notes. Manta, okay. This match actually wasn't bad. And then Undertow is the one y'all get KO'd. Okay. This match, I genuinely think it's just like small skill issues that lost y'all this one. But also there was like the painting issue of not painting enough kind of started kicking y'all in the butt. So we'll watch this one in full. But sure, I'm going to roast your roller a little bit, because if you're going to commit to playing roller, then I'm going to roast it. But, you know, obviously constructively. I think like this opening is just a little unfortunate. Just S gets caught out and Derek doesn't get value because there's no one to follow up. I'm not really going to talk much about this. I will say, though, their comp is really oppressive. I do think their comp is much stronger than y'all's because you have a very good Rainmaker comp. Not a very good Splat Zones comp. Like, this is a map where you definitely want Nasu in. Like, yeah. I think anytime it's zones, Nasu should be in here because, like, Double Splash just has a lot of range with their utility. Oh. Nasu was not available to play last game. He's available first and last. Oh, okay, understandable. That happens.
I wasn't available for like the whole middle of the match. I was only able to play first and last.
Gotcha. No, that's fine. That happens. Okay. Well, let me give you all my analysis on the comps real quick. Their comp, Double Splash, has a lot of range in its utility. Like, Crab and Ink Strike are ranged specials. And then they both have the options of just throwing bombs from a distance and painting a metric shit ton so you can't do anything, or you can't move forward, rather. 96 takes advantage of the fact that Splash paints so much just because 96 doesn't paint very well, but it's very strong because it's like a ranged 2-shot shooter with an invincibility special. So it's like, what the fuck do you even do? And then Explo is just annoying on this map because Explo just sits up here and then it's able to like reach everything. And then if it moves up like to here, it's able to like reach into like the back sides of the bunker. Or from their side of the map, he'll just like sit here and he can just slosh onto the zone like safely. And it's a lot of pressure. And so fighting against this comp is really challenging. And I think Roller is definitely not the play for this map. Brush is extremely risky. I don't know. You have to be very confident if you're going to play Brush on this map. And then, you know, T-Tech 52, that's fine. But I think the Roller pick is kind of what lost y'all the game.
I think Tri-Slosh would have gone on this map.
No difference.
No diff.
Yeah.
Alright. Because I don't know. I didn't want to play this map, but
Splat Zones is very stally. Okay, so what comp would work? Yeah, let's talk about that. From what you have, so Derek, I would have played Stamper here or Wiper. For Splat Zones, you want anything that is good at spacing out the enemy. That's kind of the biggest idea here. Anything that can space out the enemy. So T-Tech can space out the enemy because it has the ability to throw bombs and spam strikes. 52 has the ability to space out the enemy because it puts in a wall and it's like, hey, I control this spot. Like, if you push me, you're just going to die because I'm a 2-shot weapon with a splash wall. So it's like fucking invincible if you play your cards right. But then Roller is not good at spacing things. Roller wants to close gaps. And it's very tough to close the gap on Splat Zones because the enemy doesn't need to push up. Like, once they have mid, like once they have this section of the map and like everything behind it, they don't have to push up past this. They just have to lock out. And so a Roller is just going to struggle to be able to get in outside of Kraken, obviously, but yeah, same with Brush. Brush is also going to struggle to get in, which is why Brush for Splat Zones, you only play it on like the open maps, which like I guess for this map you technically can play brush. So the idea is like you go through here, and like if the enemy has a high presence here, you can go around this way and you get behind them. Once you get behind them, yeah, now you're having fun, Derek, and Kate, for both of y'all. Like if they're holding the zone and you're behind them, whoo-wee, you can do a lot of shit with that. But it's just getting behind them that's really freaking hard, because going through here, or rather doing anything near like this area of the map with brush is just a death sentence. Like you just don't want to be here unless you're just like using Ninja Squid to shark or something. But like if you're going to be in this area of the map, you're not playing to distract, you're playing to kill. And it's just really awkward with brush because the enemy needs to get close to you. And because it's splat zones, they don't need to get close to you. If this is Rainmaker, they need to get close to you because they need to push their pedestal. If it's tower, they need to get close to you because they need to, move the tower forward towards your side. Same with Clamblets. But zones, they don't have to. So that's why kind of brush and roller struggle. Brush is still playable. It's just harder. Roller is unplayable in my opinion. There are certain maps where I think it's playable. Manta is definitely not one of them. If you want to talk about what roller maps or what maps are playable for roller, I would say like Mako Mart, just because you can slosh the roller flick onto like the stack and all the ledges and stuff like that. So yeah, that can be really oppressive. But like here, the only good roller spot is once you get into the enemy side, you get under here, it locks out this area here. Or rather, it locks out all of this. So they have to go up here to avoid you. Which is part of why I'm going to roast Churro today, because he didn't do that at all. So we would have to go all shooters practically. Yeah. Well, no. Derek has the option to play Stamper. Stamper, Wiper. Churro, yeah, I could play Splash. Or if you really want to play a roller, play Flingza. But that's a really boring missile spamming play style. You're not going to be going in and doing fun, cool stuff with that weapon. So, yeah. And then Splatlings are good if you have Nasu. Dually Squelchers are good if you have Max, or just any of the Dualies that isn't Dapple. Tetras, Dually Squelchers, V-Dually. Yeah, Sistis 52 is fine, or any shooter from Sistis is fine. Kate, if you're playing this map, just play Brush. I think that's your only option. You don't play Tri-Slosher here. I don't think Tri-Slosher is good on this map. Yeah, Nasu Splatlings, S, T-Tech. Honestly, Aerospray is actually fine on this map. It's doable. I told you the only mode you can play Aerospray is zones. I told you this. That's the only exception. I did. Oh no, rather I said gold Aerospray. I said gold Aerospray, not
you did say that.
Silver Aerospray. I did say gold Aerospray. I am sorry.
I recall that one.
Yeah. My bad. I forgot that you prefer silver over gold.
Throw the sprinkler at the very top in the center, and then you, and then it rains.
So, yeah. Anyways, moving on. Let's actually watch the match now. But talking about comps, I think is a good thing. So yeah, a little bit of a rocky start. I'm not gonna really analyze this too much because I think it's mostly a comp issue. Y'all dealt with this pretty well. I think y'all just ignored the 96 with or rather the Kraken, and just killed the Splash. Like, good shit, Churro. That was good decision making there. And then this is where rollers kind of struggle. Rollers don't paint for themselves, so going in like Churro did just now, no paint, so you can't move. And then he's rushing two people that can just back up and chip down Churro for like 1 million damage. But for some reason, they don't kill Churro. So, Churro, you're lucky, but you should not have lived that. I'm going to be completely honest. And obviously, the Kraken to follow up was clutch. But, yeah. And then a good job on S Sistis and Derek for following up on Churro's engagement. That was very solid. Good strike. And then the Derek doing that was really good. Now, in this situation, Churro should immediately just get here. Just like, no thoughts about it. Don't even paint this area because Churro kind of just played this area the entire game on lockout, which towards the end, there was like one really important kill that Churro got out of it, but I think just locking out this is so much more valuable for you guys. But then also, like, Derek, who was up here, should have stayed up there. Because on this map, if you can force fights here as a QR brush, you are winning. Because if they choose to ignore you, you get to kill them. Or you get to do, like, really annoying stuff where, like, for example, you get up here and you jump across, and then you just like sit on the grate here. So when anyone respawns, you just kill them for free because they can't see the behind the mast. Or if they do know you're there, then okay, that's fine. It's like you can lead them on this chase where out of spawn they'll like come this way, but then I'll change color. I'll do blue. But then you can like force them to chase you this way, and then you like just drop down here, and then you just like circle back, stuff like that. Like obviously there'll be multiple enemies, so you're more likely to get caught out. But like even if you're able to like just do 10 seconds of this, right, of just like forcing the enemy to like just chase you for 10 seconds. 10 seconds is about 15-ish, 20 points, because the timer doesn't go down per second. It's like, yeah. I think it's like 1.5 points per second, something like that. The timer goes down faster. So like, you have QR anyways. You'll just jump back in because you'll have someone in mid. So yeah, this is the point of QR gameplay. It's like you run in, you force fights here, right? So when the enemy kills you here, by the time that it takes them to travel from this area of the map to mid, you are already respawning and jumping back in. So then once they get to mid, right, you're already fighting them again for mid, and you're still scoring points, right? And then you just fight them here again. But it's just the extra time that you stalled fighting them here, that's worth it. So basically all of that just to say you should have stayed here and tried to do something towards this. Granted, you should have also had teammates following you this way. You only need, with this comp here, you only need Sistis and or S to stay in this general area of the map. Let me make that clear. In this general area of the map, anywhere here, and let me explain this. You want someone here to lock out this area, whether it's just S sitting down here throwing bombs or just painting into this area from the low ground. And you also want someone locking out bunker from here or from mast, but a shooter sitting on mast doesn't do anything. But like had you had Nasu with splatling, yeah, just sit here. You can lock out all of the walls up here so they can't get onto bunker. If they can't get onto bunker, they can't do anything. Quadrilateral. Yeah. And so it's just about locking out, right? Like you don't have to do anything. Hey, it'd be nice to show. But yeah, and then like you have those two people kind of just backlining here, and then Derek is trying to go in. Churro is trying to close the gap with Roller. Which, yeah, Churro, your big mistake here is, first of all, I don't think you should have played Roller, but outside of that, you kind of struggled to close the gaps in a lot of situations. Not here. This is good. This is a good flank. But there were a lot of situations where I think you could have done a lot more. Oh, this moment. Notice how they all jump into this splash, but two of y'all don't jump to S. Alright, so Derek doesn't jump to S. Churro does, so good job. Sistis should also jump to S. You're all using stealth, right? S, this is why you run. Anyways,
Yeah, how dare you?
yeah, this is why everybody should be running stealth jump, is just so you can make those jumps somewhat safely and be able to hold mid. Because right there it was a 1v1. S on T-Tech versus the enemy splash. Had y'all jumped in, you could have made it a 4v4, but because two of y'all didn't jump in, you allowed them to force a 2v4 onto S and Churro, who jumped in, which is a huge momentum killer. Sistis gets caught out. S has to back up. Although y'all use 2 specials, which pretty pog, because y'all get 2, and Derek gets caught out. Yeah, Derek, be careful with these. You get that 1 kill, now they know where you are. Don't force the fight. Sometimes just painting the map is much more valuable to your team. And this goes for you as well, Kate. It's like, don't get bloodthirsty. Take the fact that you killed 1 to then claim map control for your team. I think I told y'all this a very long time ago regarding Brush, is that it can fill a lot of roles. Yes, it can kill things if you're able to close the gap. It's able to distract, so it's a good skirmisher. But don't forget that I also mentioned Brush is an excellent painter. It paints a bitch ton. It is a very good support if you know when to be painting. So like, you go in, you start a fight for your team, you're able here, let me replay that. Let me replay that this whole fight here, because like the engage was perfect. Right? It's like you wail, you go in with the strikes, and you take advantage of the fact that you can go over uninkable areas really fast, and you punish the X-Bow. Beautiful. Perfect engagement. This is like really good for your team. Now, the enemy's in this corner here, and they can choose to just sit in this corner and like space you out. I know it's a bad corner for them, but like the only option you have as a Brush to push this position here is really just to throw bombs into that corner and have your teammates follow up. But I think what you should have just done is just paint all of mid from the high ground, because Brush can do that really well. So, yeah, moving on. But yeah, I will say the specials there was perfect. The whale, the tri-strike, and then the Kraken to follow up. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Right, so here, Churro, like, your Kraken is over, but the enemy's still kind of respawning. You shouldn't be backing up. You should be trying to close the gap. So, like, there's, like, this perfect line here that you could have ninja squidded and probably killed the splash. That's kind of the mentality you need to have with Roller, where it's just, how can I get in? How can I close the gap? How can I outplay the enemy and, like, take them by surprise? You literally have to play like Talon. I just watched you play Talon. Play Roller like you play Talon. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about that with Flank earlier. I was like, haha, funny wall jump over.
Yeah, like
In their bunker.
I know enough League of Legends stuff to be able to make the connection. I'm sorry for yelling if that blew out someone's ears, but yeah. I just got excited because I was like, oh my god, I can make a reference to the League match you just played. Rawr. So, yeah. Sorry. Yeah. I will say, okay, let me go back like 20 seconds, because this is another good example of not painting enough. Although there were some others earlier in this match, but I wanted to talk about other things. But you'll kind of notice, like, yeah, you're using these strikes and you're going, like, you're trying to go in and stuff like that, but you still don't have a lot of paint control. You don't have paint here. Obviously, you don't have paint on this side of the map, but that's because it's their side of mid, which is understandable. But, like, the goal is to be fighting for paint control, not necessarily kills. So I think Sistis' death there could have been prevented just by, like, playing a little bit slower, making sure you have paint before you go in. And then you'll kind of see during the fights that will happen here, there wasn't a lot of paint to be able to follow up on things. Right, so it's like Churro's way over here. Derek was trying to do something here, although he backs up, which good on you, Derek. But, like, S is kind of just stuck here painting, and he can't really follow up with anything because there is no paint. Yeah, so like Derek is just running around when I think you painting just like this side here would have done a lot more for your team. But then you went and did something aggressive and died for it, which isn't always the best thing, right? And so like then the sort of lack of paint, all of the enemy needs to do is play slightly slower than you guys, and they'll just outpaint you guys just naturally, because their double splash explode just paints a bitch ton if you guys aren't doing anything to counter it. And so like they just have to play back, and because y'all have 2 grap closer weapons, if they just kite y'all back, they'll punish the roller and the brush really easily. And as soon as they have that man advantage, they are going to win on paint, because they'll just outpaint you, and then strikes, crab, and then rain, and just y'all can't do anything. That's kind of how these fights are going. So yeah, it's like I said, comp issue, but could have there been some things that y'all could have done to turn this around? Yeah, there's definitely a clutch factor that y'all have, because if they fuck up against a roller and a brush, y'all can KO a spot zones match really fast. But if you allow the enemy to get control of mid, y'all are going to struggle, because y'all will suck at pushing back in. Not as in y'all suck at pushing back in, but your comp sucks at pushing back in. I'll, just need to rephrase that. Yeah, and the match is pretty much over. I think he gets KO'd here. Or no, I remember y'all pushing back in. But it was just... Yeah, it was just that double flank where Churro went this way, Derek went this way. That kind of just worked out. And then the strikes to get this zone. Oh yeah, good triple S. That was kind of hot. Oh, I watched that from your perspective. Right, so like Churro should have been here instead of down here. Although the kill Churro was about to get was really fucking important. Killing that crab is so fucking important. So that's, yeah. So like you kill the crab, the enemy is at a huge momentum disadvantage. All y'all need to do is hold zone, and y'all probably could have clutched this. Right, like all y'all have to do is just hold this. Hang on, let me make this cleaner. This part of the map. Like prevent them from pushing further. So like you get that kill, and then all Churro needs to do is just like shark here, and just like if the enemy goes here, Churro pops up and kills them, because rollers do that. So I don't think peeking the bunker is the best idea here. This flank is super risky from Derek. If you're gonna flank, I would say like do it wider, just so they can't just immediately shoot you. Because like think about it like this, Derek. You flanked like this, right? And so from where they're positioned, they're already in range. I know you're behind the wall at the moment, but once you peek up, they're in range to shoot you. But you go around here, and then like you drop down or whatever, they're not immediately in range to kill you. Right? So it's kind of like a wider angle versus a short angle. So then they're forced to physically turn around and move towards you if they want to deal with you. So that's kind of a brush stalling tactic. Which, okay, you back up before they're able to kill you, because these guys, their aim isn't that good. Their mechanics aren't that good, so they're not going to be able to kill the brush super fast. But like S going in here and risking that death, not really worth it. Having like just your painter player just sitting back and like throwing bombs. LDE should be active at this point, right? You have LDE, right? S. Yeah, you have LDE. LDE is active. Just throw bombs, paint for your strikes. That's kind of the win condition in this situation. Similar with Sistis. You're just putting a splash wall forward, making it so the enemy can't move forward, and just painting. And if they move forward, you outrange both of the splashes. So you can just punish them if they try to push you. Which, granted, that was a good double there, but it's sort of the idea of y'all didn't create that rock solid sort of wall of paint, as I was explaining earlier, where you can just paint like an area like this area, like put paint here and make sure they can't go through bunker, and then make sure they can't just drop here for free, and y'all lock them out really well. But y'all didn't have constant paint here, and so they're able to just go in and stop y'all, which is why Churro dies here. And then, and it's why this splash is able to just run in and kill Derek. Oh, by the way, Chur, I am streaming this, so all of the things I talked about in the first 2 matches, you can watch the VOD and go back on it, because there are some things I mentioned there. Yeah. I'll send you the link after this. Or if anyone wants to go back, because whatever. But, yeah, it was just really, you didn't watch this area. But honestly, I think y'all lost the match more towards the middle of the game, where you allowed them to push to 20, whatever. I don't know what score they had. To the low number. Because then that makes it really hard to do an overtime push. Rather than, slowly chipping away at the timer throughout the match instead of making one big push, which is challenging to do. Okay, one more match and then we'll call it a night. But this one is really fast, so. Oh yeah, I can close Churro stream now. Oh, by the way, as per usual, if y'all have any questions, any comments, anything you want to add, feel free to interrupt me. Just mention it. Yeah. Okay, so the comp now is 3 gap closers. Or rather, I think calling these weapons the gap closer weapons is a bad way of naming it. But 3 weapons that need to close gaps to do stuff. So, like these comps, y'all really need to be careful of this. I am strongly starting to regret the roller pick from Churro.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree that this was bad rolling up. I
Yeah.
chose it because we had a good run on it before, but it definitely wasn't easier.
Okay. I think like there's very niche maps where you can pull off roller brush. Very niche. I'll try to think of them later and I'll like send it in the chat another day. Not right now though, because I don't want to think about that.
Mako is probably my strong one.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. Mako for sure. This one might be a map where you can pull off roller brush, but I think roller brush, tri-slosher.
Gotcha.
Roller and tri-slosher do the same thing, just in different ways, but they're essentially the same weapon. Water looks like piss. All right. But yeah, so like both of those weapons essentially do the same thing. Don't put them on the same comp. Brush and roller, I already talked about it last match on why you shouldn't play it, but niche maps you can probably pull it off. Otherwise, churros on splash. I think here, Derek, you would have played Stamper. I think this is
like
what's up.
the times I've played Stamper, like on this map, it just I don't know, I wasn't really feeling it too.
This is the Zipcaster map.
I don't know.
It's
Like,
the
fine.
Zipcaster on
Like
these.
every time I've played this, it just never was very good. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but my experience with it wasn't that great.
Okay. Training montage. Okay. Like, I'll just explain why I think this is a good Stamper map. Feel free to just disregard this. You don't have to take this to heart. But the big areas, like the 2 most important areas of the map is going to be this area here and this area here. I'm going to use a different color because it's not showing very well. This area here, this area here, right? The opposite sides on the map. And it's just Stamper, if you're standing here, can reach all across this. Like one charge shot, just boom. Same with if you're standing on top mid, just boom, one charge shot, just the entire thing, and you can just spam them across. So it just makes it so the enemy just can't just run in, because there's just Stamper shots in the air all the time. And also like paints these nice lines that you can just Ninja Squid in with, or you don't use Ninja Squid on your Stamper, but maybe your teammates can or something, I don't know. And then if they're like pushing in with overwhelming force, you can just like disengage with Stamper and like back up to like here or something and just throw bursts. If they hide behind these walls, just burst them out. Yeah. I don't know. This is just me personally. I like Stamper on this map. And then the other thing is your Zipcaster can get a shit ton of value because you can Zipcaster to like this wall, this pillar thing. And then like between those two, you can get to like these back walls here, all across. So, yeah, I don't know. I like it. I'm a fan. I would encourage you to experiment with it, because brush here kind of sucks. Because for the same reason that Stamper is good here, brush is bad, because brush kind of struggles with being able to push through this or push through this. It's just like they're just two really annoying choke points that, yeah. Obviously, once you like are able to break out of those choke points, right? Like once you get into these areas, then brush is useful, but otherwise, yeah. Yeah, brush here is pretty bad, I would agree. But I think bucket is also bad here because you also can't push through here with bucket. So, yes. Had y'all played Wiper Stamper here, I think like that's a nasty comp. Like Roller T-Tech Wiper Stamper, disgusting. Like absolutely fucking, like I genuinely think that could have won. I know it's a little unconventional. I've never seen someone play Wiper Stamper, but I genuinely think that y'all could pull this off. With how y'all play, like the way, what I know from y'all, yeah. It was tower. I was... okay. How would we fight the Gal? Gal... First of all, Stamper charge shot outranges Gal, I'm pretty sure. Let's test it. Pretty sure. Also, I don't know how to answer this. Let me test this first. Where's Gal?
Like a little bit.
Barely outranges. It's the same fucking range. Okay, so it has the same range. But it's mostly just about outspeeding the Gal. Gal is a slow fire rate weapon with little to no strafe speed. So if you rush it down, you're gonna be able to get a trade. Especially with Roller double Splatana and then a T-Tech that can just zone stuff out. Yeah, it's really just a speed thing. But yeah, I'm just giving y'all this ideas. I think y'all should scrim that comp on the bad brush maps. So like Undertow is a map where, hey, if you got Derek and Kate on this same team, consider it. Consider the double Splatana. I think that's that could go really well for you guys. Or at least just one Stamper, one Splatana. So actually, I think it's kind of having both of us on the same comp because of our weapon picks. Yeah. Which is why I think if one of y'all play a Splatana, then y'all are able to play on the same team. Right? So, like, you can have Brush Splatana. That is perfectly fine. I don't see any issues with that. Brush Splatana is, like, the same as having, like, Brush T-Tech. It's universally pretty good. So, for both of y'all, if you're ever on the or if you're ever on the same team, I think at least one of y'all need to play a Splatana. Another idea I just had is if you ever have one of the brush players on the same team as Churro, and Churro wants to play Roller, you can have Churro on Roller, and then the brush players plays a Splatana. And then in bada bing, bada boom, Roller is now playable. Instead of having like two gap closer weapons that are going to struggle. Anyways, I'm gonna watch through this match. It's really short. But it's like once you see what happens, I think y'all were really just like the mental kind of broke down. You know, down 0-3, and then it was just like a lot of feeding, a lot of desperate plays. So I'm not really gonna comment too much on this, but it's just something to kind of just one of those don't do this type examples. It's like Kate runs in, and then y'all have one down and no paint. Hey, get that double. It's pretty all right. Yeah, and then it kind of just rushes in, rushes in, rushes in. So it's basically a wipe. Although you have beacons, which is pretty nice actually. Alright, so it's like, okay, oh, we just respawned and we're jumping into the beacons. Let's drop down and fight with no paint. And then you both die. And then Derek drops down with no teammates and no paint. And then dies. And that's basically kind of how it goes. Kraken, I don't even know what Kate just died to. I'm going to assume it was a bomb or something. And so S tries to just... S was trying to survive the Kraken. So, Rainer Blob, yeah. S was trying to survive the Kraken, so I'll excuse that one. But then Churro kind of just drops down. No paint, no help, no teammates. Derek is over here. No paint, no teammates. Kate just drops down. Sloshes a little bit. Starts painting a little bit. Didn't do anything. Going with us, but no paint. Couldn't catch up fast enough. Exactly. Which is exactly why I talked a lot about paint today. Because that's precisely it. Yeah, and then it just kind of snowballs. So, I really do think it was a comp issue because y'all have no paint with this comp. But yeah. Yeah, I'll see myself out. No me, haha. Wait, what are you talking about? Oh, Paint Mafia. Got it. Yeah. No Paint Mafia. L. But yeah, like if you look back on it, you did okay in Eeltail just because y'all had a comp that actually paints. Like Eeltail y'all should have won had y'all not gotten greedy. But yeah, like you can kind of see it was like this comp is like pretty solid. This is very consistent. You can rely on this comp a lot. Same with the Brine Water comp, but y'all lost for different reasons. But like these two here really need to look on the drawing board for comp. So y'all have a match tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the big thing, let's look at the map list actually. Let's make the comps right now. Or rather, who is available to play tomorrow? Who is going to be there?
What time is it at?
7:30.
I should be able to.
Let me rephrase that. Who is not able to play tomorrow? Kate, if you have homework, you're doing homework. We play all Exploshes. W idea. Visiting my parents. Okay. Take the day off. Visit your parents. No stress. I'm also saying that mostly just so it's easier to find out who plays on what maps. So is it week 3 or week 4?
I believe it is.
3, no?
Yeah, I could check power.
Week
No.
3? No, this is y'all just played week 3. I think it's week 4.
Week 4, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's week 4.
These are the maps.
It's Carnate Ink Sala.
Okay, let me do a few things.
We've been even in scrims.
Okay, so that's good. That's good. I do believe that this opponent that y'all just played against is going to be your hardest opponent. Just based off what I know from those players. I think the team y'all just fought has more experience. Really, I can tell. Yeah. I didn't want to say this to freak y'all out, but now that y'all are done with them, I did believe that was your hardest opponent. So don't beat yourselves up. Just know that I believe all the other teams are easier than what you just fought. I know. I wish I was there last night. Okay, what was I gonna do? Planner. Okay, Tower Inkblot. Let's do this until the hour, and then let's call it because it's getting late, and I don't want to do this for much longer.
And I'm hungry.
Hi, Hungry.
Hi.
Towering Blot.
What's that thing on the side? Oh, that's a checkpoint.
Yeah, there's the checkpoints, ink rail. Yeah. Nasu will be here, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. S on T-Tech. Churro on Splash. No brush on this map.
Yeah, I know. I didn't plan on it.
Yeah. So ST Tech, Churro, Splash. I would say just so y'all have a decent defense, put Nasu in on heavy. And your fourth can be any of Derek on a Splatana, Kate on a Okay. Kate on a Splatana, or Kate or Derek on a Splatana. Kate on Tri-Slosher, Max on Dually Squelchers. I would say let's put those in. I don't think... Sistis, you've been mostly playing 52, right? Because I don't think 52 is the play here. But yeah, let's go with that. Okay, so I'm going to write these down. I know. I'll write it, Kate. I'll write it. Unless someone already did.
Comp discuss.
Okay. T-Tech Splash Heavy, Flexible Tonic, Tri-Slash, Dual Squelchers. Yep. Okay. Oh, also put Churro Neo Splash, not V Splash. Just, I think no crab is better.
For Smoke? Sure.
Yeah. Okay, next one. Rainmaker Wahoo. Oh, by the way, if y'all ever want to use this website, sendu.inc. Very useful. Unsure what these red areas mean. Oh, these are Rainmaker free zones. Right. Okay. Definitely brush. Definitely brush.
Who left?
It's Chloe. She was just listening. I'm trying to think. Okay, no Nasu for sure. No backline. Y'all don't need a backline. Hey, S. Scale from 1 to 10. How confident are you on playing Silver Aerospray on this map?
Pogger's Reef.
Yeah. Wahoo Rainmaker. 98.5. Alrighty.
I love the confidence.
Okay. Let's go with Silver Aerospray for this one. I want you to get the chance to prove it to me that it's actually good. No pressure. Sorry, not sorry. Okay. Brush Aerospray double shooter could either be, or actually this is better. Brush Aerospray dually from Max, Sistis 52. That's the comp. Unless y'all want to go meta and just spam a bunch of splashes. I think leaning into y'all's weapon pool, go with that for this one. So I'm assuming y'all got it written down, right?
Yep.
Squelch 52. Perfect. All right, next. Clams Mako. Churro roller. Yeah, this is 100% roller. I want y'all to play roller brush on this one. Roller brush, and then the other two players are just things that can anchor, that aren't actually anchors. So no Nasu here either, mostly because I think. Okay, such as, I would say double splash, or T-Tech splash. So roller brush, and then double splash or T-Tech splash. So not sure who. I can play the splashes if needed. Okay, so that's good to know, sisters. Churro, for the last one for map 2, if you could put a / on that 52 gal and put 52 or splash.
Okay.
Just whatever Sistis is feeling. But then for this map, it's roller brush, double T-Tech, or sorry, double splash or T-Tech.
Play a splash if needed as well.
Oh yeah, Nasu does play splash. I forgot about that. Okay. Ooh, wait, this might be a Nasu splash. Okay, I'll let y'all figure it out.
Okay.
Tomorrow. Okay. Next map.
Those guys, they put in the orange ends app, it works.
Actually, or orange Enzap. No joke. No joke. No joke. Not joking. Yeah. I've been playing orange Enzap, believe it or not, lately. Oh yeah, okay, I guess I didn't tell y'all this. The orange Enzap has been growing on me. Basically, it's terrible on zones and tower. Terrible.
Yes, I know.
It's just Ink Strike, but a million times worse. But when it comes to Clan Blitz and Rainmaker, just because of how fast you're required to push up in those two modes, throwing chumps into the area you're about to push into, and then actually pushing in that area, the chumps actually do a lot. Because...
guys trust 500 hours of orange ends app experience.
I trust because it's like think about it here. Look at my stream. It's like if you're pushing into the basket, you just put chumps in like this general area here. So it just like makes it so that you can go in and score because you have all of these like little shields just scattered around, and it's just like really helpful if you're like if you just one mid and then there's like only a few enemies left and it's just like throw in the chumps and now you're guaranteed able to get under the basket for like safely. It just does a lot. Same with Rainmaker, right? You put it right before the Rainmaker checkpoint, you're able to get that first dunk in, and then after the checkpoint, like whatever distance you need to get a large lead, you put the chumps in that area and it just gives you a bunch of mini shields to protect you, and you can just run the Rainmaker like in that general area. And it just makes sense. But then for zones, it's like, okay, you throw on the zones, the enemy pops them, and there's no paint. You don't paint the zone. L, you lose. It doesn't do anything. Same with tower. Like, you throw on the tower, it's a small little thing. It's like only one chump lands on it. They pop it, and it's okay. Does nothing.
I think of it kind of like Splatoon 1 Ink Strike, but just longer terms of pressure.
It's like
That's
if
at least the
Ink
way that I
Strike
visualize it.
and Missiles had a baby.
Bro, the two specials,
Yeah. So I would say for this one, Orange Ave, if y'all want to do a debut for Orange Ave tomorrow, feel free. I will not judge. Okay, Spot Zone's Flounder. No brush. Ooh, okay. Don't put Kate or Derek on this one. Everybody else play whatever you want. Being genuinely serious here, it's Nasu, Sistis, Churro, and Max. I'm straight up, or S. I don't care. Just straight up. Derek's and Kate's weapon maps or weapon pools just sucks on this map. So yeah. Okay, so S, you don't have to play if you don't like it. Just put in Nasu, Max, Sistis, Churro. Churro, no roller here.
Got it.
For the same reason why Derek and Kate aren't allowed to play on this map, you're not allowed to play roller on this map. So yeah, just play a bunch of shooters and then a splat lane and spam strikes and you win. No crab either. It's Neo Splash. Yeah, Neo. Straight up, if y'all pull out triple Neo Splash heavy or something like that, yeah, that's the play. Honestly, This is the map where like the worst comps known to man will come out. It's just, yeah. It is what it is. Or straight up just play quad Neo Splash. I am not joking. That is a playable comp. That is a playable comp.
We'll be playing a lot of shooters tomorrow.
Yeah. This comp just, yeah. Anti-slash pin. Exactly. So put it for map 4.
Okay.
It's just... No Cater Derek. Yep. Okay. If y'all don't want to play quad splash, I get it. You don't have to. Wavebreaker's good on this map. Put in a heavy. Don't play 52 either, sisters. If one of y'all are comfortable with playing V-Shot, yes, Zuka's actually pretty good on this map. What other maps or what other weapons? Machine is good, but I don't think any of y'all play machine, so don't touch machines. Stamper is technically good, but it's like really shaky in terms of how useful it is on this map. So I'm still going with no Derek, but yeah, that's basically it. Just do it for fucking be funny. Yeah, part of me wants to also say that, but you know, I'm just gonna say those are your options. If you want to be funny and play quad splash, go for it.
T-Tech or Splash Neo?
Splash.
Okay.
Splash. Yeah. Mostly because since there's so much height, height stuff on this, Splash has perfect RNG, or has no RNG rather. T-Tech does. So if you ever have to make a play where you're like dropping down or something like that,
Shooting up, yeah.
or shooting up whatever, yeah, kind of that RNG is helpful. Also, I think suction bomb's better here because you can stick it on a wall. And yeah. Moving on. Next is Tower Hammerhead. Ew. Okay, first thing that comes to mind, Nasu has to play on this map.
Tower what?
Tower Hammerhead.
Ew.
And Max has to play CDS on this map. Has to.
CDS doesn't exist yet.
Or VDS, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I'm saying this because this is a long-range favored map. If you're fighting an E-leader, don't stand in open ground. Do your best to not peek the leader, because half the map you're going to be, or 90% of the map, the leader is able to shoot you. You have to be very careful. So this is why having things with range is very helpful. Yeah. Brush, I am going to say if you're confident that you can annoy an E-leader player with Brush, play the Brush. Otherwise, or rather, if they don't have an E-leader or charger, don't play Brush.
I'd much rather play Sultana.
Yeah. But if they have an E-leader, I think you play Brush and you just be a fucking menace, like just trying to get below him or like trying to flank around when they're not looking.
Aye, Captain.
Yeah, that's definitely the play. So situationally Brush if they have an E-leader. Otherwise, Stamper. For sure. Splash, V-Splash for Crab. Crab here is a must. So I would say, as of right now, it's Nasu, Splatling, Max, Dually Squelchers, Churro, Crab, and either Kate, Derek, Brush, or Derek, Splatana for sure. It's kind of the play for this one.
Heavy here, right?
What?
Heavy, right?
Yeah.
Heavy
Yeah.
stun.
Heavy, yeah. So that's double Wavebreaker, which I think is fine. It's mostly the main weapons are more useful. I'm trying to think if is an alternative. but I don't think there is.
You said if they had an E-liter play brush, or if they don't have an
If
E-liter?
they do have an E-liter play brush, if they don't have a, or rather just say charger. If they have a charger, play brush. If they don't have a charger, no brush. Splatana.
Okay.
Next map. Rainmaker Museum. Rainmaker Museum. Brush triple shooter. Or max on dualies as one of the...
map.
Yeah. Churro, nice. Yeah, brush triple shooter, that's what you're gonna play here. So put in Sistis, put in Churro, and then put in Kate or Derek. Put in S. Yeah, put in S. S. I think S should always be playing Rainmaker. Anytime it's Rainmaker, if S is not on the team, you're taking a big fat fucking L. S knows how to play Rainmaker really well.
Hong? That's my worst one. What do you mean?
I'm pretty sure you understand when you should be picking up Rainmaker better than anyone else here on this team. I think.
Yeah, I noticed that when you play Rainmaker, I don't touch it because I'm really good with it.
Yeah. S. Yeah.
Okay, sure. Okay.
I'm just
You scared the lights out of her. Holy crap.
Oh my god. No way.
Dead.
I'm working on it, S.
Alright, last
Okay.
one is Clams Hagglefish.
Ew. Actually, ew. No, yeah, ew.
Okay, y'all are gonna want a backline on this one.
God, there was a...
Yeah, put in Nasu. I think Crab is useful but not necessary. Avoid playing Crab. I think avoid playing Crab. Put in a brush on this map. Okay, one thing for this map my brush players need to know. This is an open flank. There's a ramp here. You know what that means. Nobody watches this flank. But just keep in mind, once you take the flank once, they'll now watch it for the rest of the match. So, yeah. Which is a good thing. It's a good thing, because if they're wasting time looking in this direction, it opens up mid for everybody else. But put in a brush just for that reason. That's the main Rainmaker. Yeah, put in a brush. So it's brush, Nasu on heavy, and then one strike weapon. Your fourth weapon can be anything, really. Really, it can be anything. It can be another shooter. Right, it can be 52 from Sistis. I think Whale is actually pretty good on this map. You can put... we could get Nasu's orange zap on this one.
No! 2-in-1? No way.
You can get S's T-Tech. A lot of freaking options. I would say just... Yeah, your fourth weapon, it doesn't really freaking matter. You could get a Splatana from Kate or Derek. You could honestly get a roller from Churro, actually, as the fourth weapon. I just realized that.
but Nasu's orange end zap. He was so excited.
The creamsicle Enzap?
I want to cook.
Yeah.
Truly diabolical.
Crinkle
We
cut.
can't steal it from him like this.
You are never playing Gluga under the sun, Max. You are
Okay.
never
Is it
playing
that
Gluga.
bad?
Wait, maybe the sun's down by then.
The current kit isn't good. If it gets
No?
cracking, it'll be really good.
That's what I'm hoping.
Bro, if anything gets cracking, it's good. What do you mean?
Well, yeah, okay, that's true. But no, but I think Gluga really should get cracking. Out of like any weapon, it would make Gluga a playable weapon.
You expect this game to give good kits? Have you seen the shit we've gotten lately?
You like Luca?
Yeah.
Me?
I like
No,
eating glue, yeah.
I like Gluga as a main weapon. It's
But
just
it's-
super dependent on the kit.
Bro, I love eating glue.
The current kit is just not what Gluga wants. Like, put that kit on like a shooter, oh man, you were cooking. But on a Gluga, nah. It's so awkward.
Oh.
But yeah, that's. Did you write down the comp for this last one?
This one was pretty heavy.
Oh my god.
Oh
I
my
get what you
fucking
did there.
god.
It takes them 2 lines.
Yeah, well, just make sure the important thing is heavy brush,
Heavy rush.
and
Yep.
then splash.
Oh boy.
Last spot's flex.
Yeah, and the last one is flex. That's the important thing to remember. Or rather, the third one, it doesn't have to be splash. T-Tech is... Yeah, okay, you read that. Yep.
That's T-Tech.
Good. Okay.
I should do Neo. There you go.
If
Yeah,
you
splash-
play
splash,
heavy, L can be. I can play heavy and Natsu can play Ozap.
No, it's fine. If everyone thinks about me hard enough, in your conscious, you can split me in two.
Wait.
I'll take the other half.
Wait. I just realized you could totally just not play heavy and play orange zap on this one. Yeah, no, actually.
I actually agree. I think that is winnable.
Yeah, that is super doable.
So,
Just,
Ozap over heavy?
yeah, let's do that.
Ozap, underline it.
Just keep in mind, the reason why I want y'all to understand my thought process here. The reason why I immediately jumped onto heavy is because I want y'all to have a good defensive weapon. That is the main reason why I immediately gravitated towards heavy. Now that you won't have the heavy, when it's time to play defense, y'all need to switch to defense mode faster.
Okay.
Because those 1 or 2 deaths that can be avoided had you just back up sooner, those 1 or 2 deaths will cost you the match if you allow it to. Just because you don't have that heavy to fall back on. So
Someone just shout defense. And then
yeah,
it works.
actually. Like as soon as one of y'all kind of notice, oh hey, we really shouldn't be pushing, yell it. Like just make sure everybody's on the same page. So if that means defense, and like just freaking yell it into the voice chat, then yell it into the voice chat. And this
OMG,
goes
I finally got a job.
this goes for any of the maps where you don't have a splatling. But
Okay.
alrighty. I'm done.